T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. I'm your boy MJ. What is good, everybody? Happy Sunday. If this is your first time tapping into your boy MJ, a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, like if it was like an animal neglector or something. Just boom, get it over with, man. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop here on this channel. If you're into keeping reptiles, admiring, breeding, just want to stay like up to date on what's happening in the reptile world, the community, all the above. This is the best place to be. Cannot beat where you're at if you hit that subscribe button. I want to say thank you to all my viewers, all my subscribers out there. Appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more behind the scenes of Trap Talk Reptile Podcast, if you want to tap in with over 165 trappers, people who are really dedicated by the animals and just constantly learning off each other, going back and forth, good and bad sometimes. Hey, listen, we're a family. It's going to happen. But either way, come down to the description, very first link in the description below, and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Come join the family, man. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord, and that will tap you in with over 165 trappers, all about the well-being by the animals, literally die-hard, dedicated keepers. I appreciate all you guys so much. But yes, man, I'm telling you right now, as soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord, which will tap you into everybody, and then multiple channels talking about multiple things, all related to reptiles and even related to just normal life, day-to-day stuff, man. But seriously, I love all my Patreon members. Thank you so much for your love and support. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, my personal page, Trap Talk God 619, if you want to tap into my projects and whatnot and what I have going on. Also, follow the podcast's pages on Instagram and on Facebook as well. The Trap Talk Reptile Podcast on both. Show me some love if you're on Facebook. Shout out to the early birds. Hope everyone's having a great day, man. Sunday. It's beautiful. Beautiful to be here. I'm not going to lie. I do want to say that tonight's episode is brought to you by the Reptile Super Show, doing something great. What I mean by that, check it out. Listen up. Anyone going to the Reptile Super Show, I have 2 VIP passes, all right, that I'm willing to give out if you drop a comment on this episode. So anyone out there listening, okay, if you're hearing this right now and you're like, damn, I want to go to the Super Show, and you don't want to have to pay for tickets and you want to have like a VIP experience, then drop a comment, all right? And I'll pick a random comment and we'll tap in at the Anaheim Reptile Super Show. Thank you, Rami. Thank you, anyone associated with Reptile Super Show. Shout out to all the vendors, all the sponsors of the Reptile Super Show. It's going to be one hell of a time. It's always one hell of a time at the Reptile Super Show. It's where it all started for me, man. Literally, my home show. It's where I met some of the best people in the game. Miguel Garcia, Brian Cusco, just to name a couple off the top of my head, who I'm still really good friends with. So yeah, Reptile Super Show. This place will change your life. If you're really about the animals and you really want to see your life working with animals for the far future and just for the long run, then make sure you head to a Reptile Super Show. Can't go to Anaheim? Go to the Pomona Show. Any chance you get, you see Reptile Super Show, pull up. Shout out to Rami. Shout out to the Reptile Super Show team. I also want to say shout out to the homie Doug over at Ridiculous RHACS. I'm a huge fan of this guy. Has amazing work behind geckos, leechies, the giant ones, dark ones. Dude's on another level. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, I think you guys can. Sorry. Anyways, this guy's on another level. So thank you so much, Doug, for your loyal support. My very first gecko sponsor. And yeah, couldn't be more proud of this gecko breeder who's sponsoring my YouTube channel and my podcast. Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys head over to Instagram. Like I said, Ridiculous RHACS on IG. Let him know that MJ sent you and see what he has available, man. Fool has heat, especially if you're looking to get into the leechy game. this is the best way in it, I feel like, is when you work with the best. And I'm not just saying that he's a sponsor. I'm just saying. I know his work. I've seen it. Shout out to Doug. What is good? Early birds. Who's ready to rock and roll? Excited for tonight. I'm not going to lie. Really am. The homie Ethan Hatchery in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. I appreciate you so much. The homie Scale Fins and Feathers. The homie Josh in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Ricky Bobby SRT. Go follow my boy Ricky Bobby SRT. Shane, I'm not gonna lie, man. You know how I rip a few bowls before I hit this live button. So remind me the clothing company that you have, because I just put an order in because this fool, I'm not gonna lie, I like their designs, and I definitely feel like a lot of other people would too. So do me a favor, Ricky, Bobby, aka my homie Shane, drop the name of your merch in the live chats, please, so I can put people on game, because that's just hard. I'm not gonna lie, and you're gonna be seeing me rocking a lot of this fool's gear. Just because I like to support homies, but seriously, I like his shit. He has like a beach vibe, sick vibe, just chilling. So appreciate you, Shane. Drop that name. R 5.0, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. By the way, Shane's a hellish Trap Talk Patreon member. Never sleep on that. Wise guys, forget about it. Thanks for tapping in. The Miller's Menagerie. Thanks for tapping in. Jacob Letterbetter, Trap Talk Patreon professor. When it comes to ball python shit, this is your man. This guy will spot anything, because he's good. He's awesome. Appreciate you, Jacob. Day one for sure. The homie Big West in the building. Sunshine State Sulfurs. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Dr. Thick One. Is that what that says? Present? Right on, man. Thanks for being here. Julio Fulio in the building. What is good, player? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Josh Fenelon. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Hope my Super Dwarf Tick is doing well. Hope Audrey loves it. And I hope Chris is doing well. Shout out to the entire JK Labs family. Trap Talk Patreon members. Seriously, one of the first ones as well. Day oneers. Joe DeStefano out of Florida. The young bull in the hobby, man. Shout out to homie Joe. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. You want to talk about bulls right here. You want to talk about B-Unit. The homie Emilio Villarino. Killing the game. Leading by example. A community builder. That's what I like to call this guy. Definitely one of my good homies too. Appreciate you, Emilio. Keep doing your thing, bro. I see you. Everyone sees you. That's a fact. Space City Chondros. Recently new logo. Sick ass chondro keeper. Flexing Texas all day, every day. Go fuck with my boy right now on Instagram. And he has some really healthy looking chondros that he's raising up. And we need more people like the homie from Space City Chondros. Thank you so much. Shout out to Texas. Big Mike, 1776 Exotics. My dog right here. OG Patreon member. One of the first ones ever to sign up over 3 years ago. It's my dog. I appreciate you. And I think we're going to need to end this in style, because it doesn't get more OG when it comes to Patreon members, when it comes to Big Mike, 1776 Exotics. All right, guys, listen. It's at that mark. It's time to go. Again, Reptile Super Show. Do not sleep. Get your ass to the Reptile Super Show. And let's get this episode cracking. Let's see. What are we at? Oh, my God. 300 something. 349? Woof. What a number. Here we have it. My homegirl Renee is coming right now with some heat, guys. So do what you got to do to get your mind right. Do what you got to do to get hydrated, situated. But coming at you right now, live and direct. Let's go. Cheap.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
And we're live. Renee, what's good? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Makes me happy that I finally got to sit down with you. Because we met each other how many years ago now? It's been like 3 years, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, probably that. 3 or 4.
Awesome. Well, listen, for anyone who doesn't really know exactly how long you've been involved with the reptiles, but more importantly, like the designing work, right? Because you work with a lot of logos, or you helped a lot of people with logos, I would say within the last couple of years, or when did that start?
Yeah, I think I got my iPad in 2020. So like 3 years or so.
You draw on your iPad?
Yeah.
So that's like some tattoo artist type shit. That's what they do too, right?
Yeah, they use the same, or a lot of them use the same program that I use, Procreate, which is like makes it really easy.
Right. So like easy in a sense where like you're almost tracing, or is it like I'm just curious. Like it still has to be difficult. Like it can't. I mean, it's probably not as hard as freehand. It's probably not as hard as freehanding. I'm assuming, right? I'm just curious on how they make it easy on an iPad.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's kind of like drawing on a paper, really, but
right.
You can like import photos like right there, so you can either like trace things or just have your reference right there, as opposed to like back and forth looking at a screen and a paper or whatever.
But this right here is not really from a photo. Like you actually drew this, right? I'm assuming. Or
yeah,
okay.
That's like the third thing I drew on my iPad, and then I turned it into a sticker. But
that's tight. How long did it take you to learn how to draw on an iPad?
It's kind of like just an ongoing process. Like every time I draw like a new piece, I like learn something about like the program or like techniques and different stuff like that. So I did join Skillshare, and it's like this website that like you pay a subscription to, and you can like artists are on there teaching you how to do like anything. So it's like, you can look at photography, like ceramics, all kinds of stuff. So I joined that and followed a couple tutorials or whatever, kind of just to learn the basics of the program. But it's kind of just a lot of playing around yourself too.
So one thing I put mad respect on you and your boyfriend, Alex. Shout out to Alex, wherever he's at. What a guy. You guys keep a bunch of awesome 6 species of reptiles. I feel like he kind of has his thing. You kind of have your thing. Am I right? Or is it kind of like both your guys' thing as far as everything that's in? You guys have a couple rooms, I think, right?
Yeah. We have 2-ish. Most of it's both of ours. He has some of the stuff that like I don't really mess with, like his scrubs. Like I don't want to get bit, so I don't really mess with those. And then like I have my like crested geckos, which he doesn't really like care that much about. So.
And you guys go pretty far back. I mean, how long you and Alex been together now?
For almost 4 years.
So about 4 years. Where were you at with the reptiles before you met Alex?
I've been in it. I think I got my first snake in May, and then I met him in October. So. Oh
shit! So about 4-ish years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So everything kind of started together. As far as obviously he's probably been a geek over reptiles for a while, but as far as the growth of your guys' collection, kind of started together.
Yeah, he had like quite a bit of stuff when I first met him. I think I was like at 12 snakes at the time that I met him, and then.
That's still a lot though. Like here, obviously to us now it's like whatever, but like still like a girl just chilling with 12 snakes. I feel like that's sick as fuck. Like that's like definitely not common, but
yeah.
So let's pause there real quick, because the kind of snakes you had at that point were they ball pythons, colubrids? What did you mainly keep back then?
I had a few ball pythons. I had a Colombian boa. I had Mexican black king snake. I got my first like breeding project I was gonna do was a couple snow rosy boas, and they're the meanest snakes that we have.
A rosy boa though, that's not gonna do much damage to you, is it?
No, but they keep trying to eat each other when we try to breed them. So.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Oh, rainbow boa. Duh.
How old are you, Renee? You're not that old. I know that. You're like what?
I just turned 35.
Oh, what? Damn, I was gonna say 35. I thought you were, and I'm just saying, like, I'm older than you, but I'm just saying, I didn't think it was 35. I think I can say 30 or something. So that's cool. Okay, so growing up, right? Your parents were always cool with reptiles. Was there one parent that just kind of made you kind of instilled this into you as far as this love of the reptiles? Or I'm just curious on how far back that goes.
When I was really little, we lived in Florida, and I always used to like catching lizards and stuff. So yeah. And then when we moved to Arizona, at some point, my older sister got a ball python, and she was living like at a boyfriend's house or something, and his parents were like, "Fuck no, you can't have that here." So she brought it over to our house, and my parents were cool with like letting it stay there, so we kept it, and I brought it to my 3rd grade classroom, and I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, that was my introduction to like snakes. So ever since then, like I wanted one, and then when I like moved back to Tucson, I was like, I'm an adult and I can buy a reptile if I want.
So like basically that experience never left you, like what you went through 3rd grade. That's kind of what it was with me. Like it's like I was never deep into it, but I always had a snake or something. And trust me, if it was up to me, I would have fucking millions of them. But I was just a kid, and my mom was like super like anti-snakes, you know, and my dad was the pushover. My dad always did whatever I wanted. So but I was happy with a snake. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it never left me. Like as soon as I got old enough, and I was like, wait a minute. Like what? I kind of could just do whatever the fuck I want now. And then that's what it kind of would have led to, you know, but obviously it got interesting because I started finding out how to breed and stuff like that. So let's kind of talk about that. You know, I mean, did breeding only started crossing your mind when you met Alex, or did you have an interest in breeding before you met Alex?
No, it was a little bit before. I bought those rosy boas before I had met Alex.
Right. Okay.
But then yeah, after I met him, it really took off. So
that's awesome. And what was it that kind of made you so interested? Obviously, like your other half is always going to be an influence, but like what mainly interested you into like kind of riding this wave of wanting to get more reptiles and start even breeding?
I just always like been into animals in general. When I was a kid, I was in 4-H and I used to breed rabbits. So
rabbits?
Yeah.
They're so cute, man. I can see that's when like I remember when I had the mainlands and they were getting a certain size and they're like, well, you're gonna want to get rabbits. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm good. And then they're right. There were certain snakes where I'm like, dude, there's nothing really. These rats ain't doing shit, kind of, you know. And so I remember I was ended up the biggest rabbit I ended up feeding was like a 12-pound rabbit, and mind you, it was like pre-killed. But
yeah,
I would go to my buddy's house where he bred these gigantic New Zealand rabbits, and I was like, they're like in wire caging, and I'm like, oh, man, like there's a shit ton of them, and I'm just like, and it just reeked. It was just like, wasn't one of the I guess professional standard way of breeding anything, but it was like, God, I just love rabbits. I don't know what it is about rabbits. I just always had like a fascination and appreciation for a rabbit ever since I was little. I don't know. It's like almost like on the same level as a dinosaur. Just always loved rabbits. So anyway, they're just like, I don't know. It's like God's creature or something. Like if God had a pet, I feel like it would be a rabbit for some reason. So anyways, and also the way I've heard them scream, and I hate that. Like I don't think a rabbit should be fed, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. As long as it's frozen thawed, you know, there's those sick fucks out there that like doing stuff live, you know. And that's really kind of what scarred me and made me so hard about live feeding now, because before I even got as deep as I am into the reptile game, you could go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and just start watching all these fucked up live feeding videos, you know, and especially in the beginning when I wasn't really like watching a lot of reptile related videos, I would watch a feeding video and they would recommend all these other feeding videos. And that's kind of like, you know, you kind of like, well, I'm just curious to see what this is like. And it's like, oh my God, this is terrible. And you never want to watch it again. So I don't know. You get what I'm saying. Leave the rabbits alone, please.
It's even hard to hear them like kill a little baby mouse, but
yeah, I mean, that's true too. Listen, that's why I got so happy when I wasn't breeding rats, because like obviously you have rats that you want to raise up to breed, right? And you just realize how smart the rats are. Like you realize that like holy shit, this is like a cute animal. You know, it's a rat. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a gross rat because you take care of it and it's like its bedding is clean. It's actually a clean rat. It's just a rat. You know what I mean? But it's like really smart. You know, they're fucking smart. And so when it came time to like murking them, it was really depressing. Like I was like, fuck, I would have to do it in a really bad mood. I'll never forget. Like I would hold off and wait until like I'm just not happy. And back then I was not happy a lot. Like I was always just pissed off, beyond pissed off. And so it was just kind of a mental thing for me. You know what I mean? And mind you, shout out to anyone out there who has that like control and like, oh, I could that like my dad's like, oh, send me that. My dad's a weirdo. Like I love my dad, but he's that old school, like, oh, I want to see that shit eat. And I'm like, you're fucking nuts. Like, you know, and that's just my pops. I get it that there's people out there like that, but not for me. No offense. But you know, we're talking about feeding, and feeding could really have a factor on where your collection's heading, because how expensive it is to feed a collection once it gets a certain size. You have snakes. You have, do you know off the top of your head? I hope so. If not, no big deal. But do you know how many species of lizards that you guys work and keep? Ballpark it.
20.
That's a lot. Okay, so you definitely have obviously insect eaters of those 20 species, right? And then you are probably majority of them, right? So do you have any kind of monitors that don't, or monitors, but lizards that don't eat insects? I'm sure they all eat insects, right?
They
you even have some that eat fruit.
We have a couple tegus who sometimes eat.
That's true.
And then
you have a couple tegus.
Yeah. That's one of them, Alex does like rattlesnake pickups and stuff, like when they call. So that he got a call from one, and it was a fucking tegu under a car.
What? Yeah. That's fucked up. In Arizona.
And it's been like, it was like at that lady's house for like over a year, just like running around the yard.
Over a year, just surviving back there? She
thought it was a cat or something.
What is it eating?
I don't know.
Holy shit. Do you guys still have that? Do you guys you kept it, or what do you guys do with it?
Yeah, it lives in our backyard right now.
That's so sick. And what is that? What is that like? I'm curious.
What do you mean?
Like, what is that like? You just but you rescued something that was basically living wild.
Yeah.
Over a year. We're talking tegu here, because tegus, they dude, a tegu that's not kind of socialized and work with will fuck you up. So I'm just curious what this is like. Like, is it chill? Is it good? Like, what's it like right now after homing this wild tegu?
I think it's pretty chill. Our tegu that Alex has basically raised as a baby is crazy-ish. I think it's probably crazier than that one. So.
Oh my god, that's so gnarly. So basically the tegu would be the only like one-off thing that would take a rodent anytime you had it or whatever. Like those we eat.
We also have the mertens.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, mertens. My bad. I'm sleeping on you guys, man. But these are all, well, not the tegus, the mertens you guys got just this year or late last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Pretty frequent, right?
Yeah, like pretty recently.
Okay. So yeah, we're talking about the food bill, right? So how has that ever been like something that has gotten too much for you guys at one point, or are you just always mindful about how much money you need to put into the food and feeding week after week?
It's been like, we're pretty mindful of it. Like, there's been times where, we feed things like smaller, like during the wintertime to help like keep the costs down and all that. But it's just like one of the other bills, like electricity, it's like, it's just one of those that like has to be paid. And yeah.
I know there's definitely shit I'll never forget, because I was told like every week you got to feed things and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So I had like the same orders, if not increasing every week. And that's, like, looking back, I'm like, holy shit, did I overfeed? Like, that was kind of like, there was times where maybe I didn't need a feed, but I just didn't know. I was like, fuck it, here we go. I'm gonna, and what do you think I did to the ones that didn't eat? I would just give it to something that would eat, and that was like the same thing for like 2 years, every week. And that shit got expensive. Oh my God, that shit got expensive. And it still is. Like, it's worse now. It's worse than ever. You guys see how much rodent prices are?
Yeah.
They're fucking killing it.
But Alex is pretty good at. He kind of does most of the feeding stuff, and he's good at keeping all that under control.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, like, how is this delegated as far as the care, the upkeep, the care and the upkeep of the animals? I mean, it's no secret or no, like, people know when you show off your stuff, your guys' animals look great. You guys have really good standards behind your husbandry from what I've seen. I've followed both of you guys for like I said, for about 3 years now. So who really kind of delegates, who takes care of what? So I know you just mentioned Alex likes to handle the feeding side of things. What is it that you like to kind of step up and do, or how's it all overall delegated? I'm just curious.
Alex does most everything, like in the main reptile room. My dad just finished. It's really cool.
Hey, shout out to your pops. Hey, shout out to Silver Daddy. My God, wait, hold on. I know his name. Hold on. Okay, tell me his name. I forgot. Scott. God damn it. Sorry, Scott. Scott's the man. Scott is the man. Hold on. I mean, I was wanted to shout Scott out when we were talking about your parents earlier. And I was going to say, I mean, shout to all the parents out there. Even my mom, even though my mom was like, fuck the snakes, she still still went down. You know what I mean? And I don't think, would have happened without the parents. So that's why I did want to shout out Scott, Silver Daddy. He still has his Instagram. Is he still breeding ball pythons? What's going on with Silver Daddy?
Yeah, he's still doing all his projects.
And he's retired from the 9 to 5, right? Like, he does snakes full time, I guess, from what I've heard last time.
Yeah, he retired in April.
Shout out to Scott, man. Must be nice. So anyways, we were talking about the upkeep. So yeah, I mean, because I don't know how you guys don't travel too much, but there is traveling involved so often. Like, I mean, is there ever a time where either one of you are gone and one has to hold down the whole fort while the other one's gone?
Yeah, for sure. Also, like, when we go to the reptile show, we have friends who come over and mist and stuff. Mostly, like, we try to get the feeding done and stuff before. It's never more than 4 days usually. So,
and that's like a huge game changer when you have friends who kind of know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because they keep reptiles too. I notice a lot of your homies that you kick it with are all fellow herpers. You guys all, and that's cool. Because I guess Arizona, it's big like that. There are a lot of people that work with reptiles in Arizona, you would say, or no?
Probably. I mean, you can find your little
community
where, but I'm sure. But
so mainly you met your friends where, you would say reptile shows, or where do you think you built your crew of people that you are really close friends with in the reptile community?
Alex is a social butterfly. I don't know. He just brings them home sometimes.
Yeah. And Mr. I think anyone could kidnap that guy very easily if they really wanted to, because he's Mr. Okay, sure, I'll go with you. But I do also love the man's energy. You and Alex are definitely two people I enjoy going to hang out with at a show. And I always preach, man. I think really kind of what made even us closer as friends as actually hanging out. It's one thing when you have a relationship via phone or computer. But come on, you're not really homies unless you meet in person, I feel like.
Right.
And that's why, I don't know, you know how people dick ride other people based off just social media, sticker swap friends or whatever. It's dude, you're really cutting other people off based off this little phony relationship with somebody you don't really know. You know what I mean? And you know that no matter how much you're into something, this is why, shout out to Alex, but drama comes with what we do. You have to deal with people and get them out sometimes. Am I right?
Yeah, I try to stay away from the drama, but I like to listen about it, I guess, from other people.
It's easy to just get some popcorn hot and ready and just listen. It's and also kind of better to be on that end, to be honest. Not always good to be in the drama. But yeah, it's just kind of how it is though. With no matter what you do, no matter what hobby it is, you got to fucking deal with people. But also nothing says that you have to here's the thing, why can't we just not see eye to eye and just move on with our lives? Isn't that cool? And to be honest, think about a lot of people, and we could just talk about because it's really Alex in the beef of all this shit, just like I am, but a lot of this energy put out via social media is not presented in person. Like, it's not the same thing at all. And that's why a lot of times, like, I even tell Alex, like, man, we can't waste our energy on this, because this is stupid. Like, this is like, first and foremost, a lot of these people never even leave their homes. They never even leave. They'll never go to a reptile show. And that's why they talk so comfortably, because they're either on the other side of the country or somewhere where they know they will never see you. And it's like, okay. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. I guess you're on the better half because you just don't get involved at all. You step aside, even though you've been in drama for sure. I'm not going to get into specifics, but it can even happen to someone. It can even happen to someone who's trying not to get involved. Am I right? Like, even if you're just like Mrs. like, hey, don't want to be in it, it could still happen to you.
For sure.
Right? Especially when you're trying to provide something for the hobby and you're trying to, like, that's why it's like, always stand for your shit no matter what. I don't care. Like, I don't know. It's just a touchy thing because so many people aren't confrontational, and that's like kind of their excuse to, like, I don't want to touch it. Right? Are you non-confrontational? I think you are.
Very much so. Even
though you're a blue belt and you can fuck some shit up, I feel like you just rather not. Like, you're just,
yeah,
which is good, right?
Yeah.
But then you have Alex, complete opposite.
Really opposite.
Oh man, I feel sorry for you and my wife. We're just too really too much. But getting back to things, like, as far as reptile shows as a whole, how much have you think has helped you not only kind of build your own community and friends that you have, but like just the knowledge overall as far as what to sell and what to bring to a show? Because you've obviously had experience vending. I've seen you at shows vending more than a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly I've dealt with like my art and stuff. We're kind of just now really getting into breeding, so hopefully soon we'll have more like animals and stuff. We usually have a few, but yeah, I let Alex do that, and then I stick to the art stuff.
What do you think the overall quality of vendors is like at shows that you've been like throughout your time in the industry? Like, I mean, do you feel like it could be better on some aspects, or do you feel like some shows are better than others? And we don't need specific names. I'm just trying to get your overall thoughts and feelings on the quality of vendors at shows.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're all relatively similar. Like, the main shows I've been to are like the Reptile Super shows, our local show, and then the ones in Phoenix. So, like, I haven't been to a whole bunch or anything. But yeah, like the Reptile Super show is like bigger, obviously, so there's more vendors. But it's always like, there's the ball pythons, like a bunch of ball pythons, a bunch of crested geckos, and then like, fun stuff spattered throughout. So
the whole being, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there being a shit ton of ball pythons at a show, does that bother you?
No, it makes it. I like ball pythons, but I don't like buy a lot of them, because if I get into that, like, there's too much options, so I want them all. So I don't like spend too much time like looking at the ball python booth, so it's like easy to just like, okay, go to the next one, find the stuff that like, find the rainbow bows or stuff or the art.
And I feel like that's what's the hardest thing for anyone to dive into the ball python game, is because first off, not only are the options just endless, and like not only are so many things, like there's so many different things that are popping right now in the ball python game, but if you walk by a booth and you see something that you really, really like, more than likely, like let's say it's that one snake where you're like, holy shit, what's that snake? Like you walk by I don't know, Straight Fire Reptiles. You ever heard of Straight Fire Reptiles? Levance and Wesley. You ever heard of them or no? Or you haven't been at Tinley yet. Oh, you haven't been to a Tinley, have you?
No.
Oh wow, we got to get your ass to Tinley. Okay, let's talk about who's. Okay, sure. I wasn't trying to say his name, but god damn it, Kabelka. Okay, let's say you walk by a Justin Kabelka table and you just see that one snake. That's like, what is that? And then you look at the price, and then you really walk away right after that, right?
Yeah.
that's hard to do. Like people, it's hard for people to understand why something is priced like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of really not meant for people on the outside looking in to understand. Either you know or you don't, right? And trust me, motherfuckers spend that money out there. Trust me, it's heavy. It's a nutty thing, especially if you are talking about a morph that goes from 50,000 to 10,000 to 3,000 within 2 years, you know. So I don't know. I like it though. I mean, I feel like I'm knowledgeable enough because of the friends I have and the information I've gotten on this podcast to know if you are going to be in the ball python game, you got to know what game you want to buy in tier wise. Cause obviously there's like the basic shit, then there's mid-level, and then there's like, oh goddamn, you know what I mean? Yeah. So if you go into the mid grade, you just got to be stoked and concentrate on what you can do in that level. But if you want to be Mr. let me put all this money into one snake type thing, then you have to fucking just be that Mr. roll the dice type of guy. And I don't know, a lot of people don't want to roll the dice on that kind of money. I know I don't. Yeah. Like I appreciate the money I made in the reptile game and still make, but I'm good. I don't know. That's why I just put my hands up and go, God bless those guys, man. Like they're big full senders. You know what I mean? They send it. I'd much rather send it on this shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'd more likely spend $50K on an Ed Marino basin before I would ever spend $50K on a ball python.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys would be the same. Like, let's say you guys had that money, and you know, because Alex does. Me and Alex, I mean, from what I can tell, me and Alex like the same shit. And I could definitely see you guys. Like, let's just say you guys are just stupid balling or whatever the fuck. Like, you guys are more likely to spend money on something not worked on, like a basin or like a rare scrub or something, versus a ball python at that money. I feel like
for sure. Yeah, like
because it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why I like you guys, man. But like I said, it's to each their own. There's so many different ways of being in this. I like the rare stuff, man. And I just know like there's even crazy levels to the rare stuff. Like look at Bolins. Obviously, we were just talking about Bolins. We just raffled off $20,000 pair of Bolins. Like what the fuck? Like I got paid $20K. Like what the fuck? That's nuts. But that's what it is. That's what they go for, right? So it's the same thing. But I just feel like I much rather put into something that's not worked with. Like I don't know. I don't know if it was Forrest that did this to me before he left, but I like the rare sick shit. Like I just what floats my boat. Like this shit for me goes harder than any racquetball pythons. And I'm not just saying that because it's my shit, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real.
It's also like there's something like intriguing about being able to breed something that is rare, like
or something that people fail a lot at. You know what I mean? Like me, like dude, I'm fucking 4 years of failure within the Chondro game, but I'm like, I cannot wait to actually get it. No matter, I don't know what year that's going to be, but I mean, that kind of pushes me to go harder. Even if it was the Emerald, even if it was Emerald shitting out slugs and just not foreign babies, I look at that as like I'm getting closer, right? But then once it happens, I'm going to be way more happier than ever hitting like some combo that made me like 10 grand or something in the ball python game. Yeah. Even though I appreciate that money, like I would be like, fuck, you know, this is just priorities, I guess you could say, you know, at least I got them. Shit. Just talking about priorities, right? What's the foundation for you, Renee? Like when it comes to your collection, not that you have things that you like more than the other, but like for instance, if somebody asked me like, how'd you get all this? I would say, well, let me show you the ball pythons because that's my foundation, right? What would you say your foundation is that you're building on and that you feel is pretty solid and you enjoy working with?
I definitely have recently gotten into my crested geckos.
Nice.
But I'm also like I really love my rainbow boas and like locality boas as well. It's just like crested geckos, you can get to breeding a lot quicker than your snakes. So like right now, that's kind of what I'm really like focused on, just because like they are actually breeding size and stuff. So in a couple more years, hopefully my boas will be at that level too.
Shout out to Geeky Geckos. Appreciate you for the super chat. But yeah, I'm curious. as far as like what do you feel like has the best future out of everything you work with? Would it be the geckos? Like if it came down to you thinking, okay, what's going to make me the most consistent money if I were to predict, would you say that it would be the geckos as of right now?
I haven't had them all at a show to know like what goes faster or whatever, but I feel like people probably like just general public at shows probably like people like animals with legs more than they do without. So I feel like a parent, with their kid walking by is going to probably buy them a gecko over a snake quicker than, So, but we'll see how it goes down.
Let me pick your brain about something, Renee. Just because obviously you're an adult, and as much as we were just talking about certain things that go down in the hobby that you can't really avoid, you obviously have seen some sort of like freaking out with people not making sales in the reptile industry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you noticed people like slashing their prices and kind of like doing like desperate shit?
Yeah.
How does that make you? Damn it. How does that make you feel? I mean, because like I feel like biggest reason why I'm so stoked behind this, because like, listen, I don't need to sell this and I'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
There's not enough people out there like that. A lot of people have something because they need to make money off of it, right?
Right.
That's kind of their fault, but I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I mean, we don't really make money off of them now, like yet, so we just like them right now. And I mean, probably always. So, it doesn't like bother me that much, but also I, just me being in it for the past 4 years, it was like the first reptile show that we went to. Animals were like at this price. During COVID, they like shot up.
Right.
Now they're going back down. So it's like, and then having Alex, who's been here in the reptile world since he was like 8 years old, like that's just the cycle of things. So sure, it's just, you just keep loving your animals until, and at some point they'll like, the prices will go up, and that's when you sell them.
Yeah. Shout out to Travis Gordon. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Yeah, I have to agree. But that's kind of like, as much as some of the old school mentalities like toxic and not the way to move, one of the old school mentalities that I don't want to say everyone did back in the day, but like, working with what you truly love, like just keep with what you're really stoked about, like to where like, even if something happens where if they're not even breeding anymore, you're going to be happy with it.
Right.
Like I paid a lot of money for those adult Miss Willie lines, which I tried attempting to breed this year, but didn't work out. Well, let's say next year doesn't work out, or the year after that. I'm still going to be so happy to have them right there, right behind me, and I'm going to love them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's crazy, and I don't want to sound fucked up, but if that were a certain female in my ball python collection, out of here. And it sucks, but that's the business side of things, Obviously, if it was like sick or something, I wouldn't get rid of it. But like, if it was just like either not breed, like if I had a clutch in a couple years or whatever, or find somebody else who wanted it, it's gone. It ain't gonna be like that easy with these at all. Period. I'm super attached to these, especially the Miss Willie lines. They're dying with me for sure. But like, that's what it's about, though, right? Like, I think people as of right now need to like dig deep and make sure that what they have in their collection, they're super stoked about.
For sure. I am. There's nothing like, me and Alex are always like, we should like, kind of condense our collection a little bit. But whenever we look at everything, we're like, no, we love it all. Like, can't go anywhere.
It's day. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about, because I don't know. Like a hobby's a hobby. So money shouldn't get in the way of you loving your hobby, I feel like. So it just hasn't been feeling much as a hobby lately because the situation's going on. I mean, let's talk about a lot of people not really liking the fact that we have to quote unquote police ourselves. But we are in 2023. I'm sure you caught wind of what's happening with the Slither files and that kind of protest type of shit that's happening with the neglect of the animals and stuff like that. Me and Alex, person, I hate to keep bringing him up, but he's who I think about when it comes to like sharing information about animal neglect. That's why I do love Alex, because we've both gone off like venting to each other, like, look at this shit, like this is terrible, right? But what do we do as keepers, right? Especially me and you, like you and I got into this game 2017, so not much longer than you, or so I'm just curious, like what do we do with shit like this? Like, do we call it out, Renee, or do we just keep our mouth shut? Like, what do you feel like the best move is when it comes to like really bad shit like this Samson stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you can do besides call it out, and like try to make people know like that this isn't acceptable. But like when I don't know, it's like they're at the point where like they have all the animals already, you know, like they're gonna be breeding them and making more. So I don't know how to like fix that or whatever. But I feel like definitely making it known that it's like this isn't how the most of us do things, and like that we don't accept it is important, because like so the whole industry doesn't get the bad rap of what they're doing.
Well, it's like, think about the hard work you and I, your dad, Alex, all your friends put into our collection, as far as sleepless nights. Like, think about you guys too. When you guys get home after your fucking hours of driving from Anaheim or Pomona, you get home to your collection and you get to work on your collection. That's what you do, because you guys love your animals so much. Well, you're not going to just go to sleep. You're gonna want to make sure everything's okay. But it should be like that for everyone.
That's what's hard to like understand too, is like, how do you have all these animals and like
neglect it
and let it get to this? Like,
I mean,
I just like, if you have animals, I would assume you love your animals and like not want them to be like that. So I just don't understand the situation like as a whole. Like, how did it get like this?
I know this person because of you guys. Shout out to this person. Alex, his name's Alex, you said?
Alec. What is he?
Alex. Okay. I haven't met Alec before. I don't think. I met Dustin.
Yes.
Dustin's a homie. But I have seen this guy. This guy does really awesome work. Specialty Herps. Shout out to the super chat. Love to see Renee on here. Amazing artist. And we love our logo. There you go, guys. Hey, you know what I can't stand? And I'm sure this must annoy you. I get like, I have spam DMs that I get in my fucking Instagram, and it's always some asshole asking me for a logo.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's so many. Like, holy shit. You know, and just recently I got so over it. Somebody hit me up like, hey, have you ever thought about redoing your logo? I'm like, hey, have you? Have you looked at your logo? Your logo's shit. Why are you asking me? You know what I mean? The nerve.
Yeah, I just blocked them.
Do you feel like there's something that, first and foremost, how much would you wish your logo game to step up? And what I mean by that, as far as like customer base, like if it went perfect in Renee's world, would you like to have so many people wanting your logo where that's all you do full time? Like if it made that much sense?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So you love it that much?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. What do you think is missing as far as you getting that customer base? Like, what do you think there's something like, it can either be posting, coming on podcasts, or whatever. Like, what is it that you think could help you boost? And because obviously people love your work. I love your work. I've seen your I have some of your stickers, your bowling sticker that you gave me. I love your shit. Your shit's sick. But like, what do you think it is that could maybe fill in the gap here to get you these people that you want?
I think just exposure in general is probably the biggest thing. I'm not the greatest at like posting regularly. So, and it's also, I just do it on my free time. So I don't have a lot of time to like draw new stuff. So it's like very sporadic when I actually have like something new to post.
You know, it's crazy that saying you can't do it all. I hate that saying because I want to do it all. Like, I'm such a control freak where I want to be able to like just do it all.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we really can't. Like, it's like when you really have so many things juggling, and like right now, right? Like you got the hardest part down, and that's drawing it, right? Like, that's fucking sick. You could draw it, right? But it's getting it out there, which is also a lot of fucking work. I was just talking to my homie the other day at a birthday party about like anything you do in life that has your brand or logo, you have to be using all platforms, especially YouTube.
Yeah.
And all it takes is putting little clips, like little reels on YouTube over and over and over and over and over again, and then putting a video out maybe once a week. And as much as that works, as much as that sounds like a lot of work, that's what it takes. But that consistently for like until it hits. I mean, YouTubers talk about it all the time. Like I've been doing this consistently for like 10 years, and boom, this one video happened, and now I have 1 million subscribers, and there you go.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, there's definitely not enough reputable reptile logo creators in this hobby. Like I think of Adeline, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that's, hold on, let me think. I feel bad. I hope there's nobody else out there. But that's all I think about is Adeline.
Yeah.
And then you, obviously, right? Girl power. Shit. Look what's happening. But I think this is the fact that it's like this, Renee. This is, I think, your time to fucking go hard. I think. Yeah. And yeah, also because you think about all these fucking phony accounts trying to get you to, like, random people trying to get you to pay them money to do a logo. Like, fuck that. Like people who actually know you, that's what it's all about. Like my boy Adler, who I got to know, he came over, slept over at my house, and well, not like that. I'm just saying, like, we rebranded together, you know? And I think that's what people really want, is to be working side by side with somebody. And I don't know, day by day, I believe you can do it for sure, especially because the hardest job of what it is that we're doing is already, I don't want to say mastered, because I'm sure you want to get better every time, but you're doing it. You're making the logos. I guess the marketing side is where Alex needs to fucking step up. Come on, Alex, where you at? But dude, I thought about this too, because I do so many podcasts a week. I put out a vlog once a week as much as I can, but really I've been shooting myself in the foot because I haven't been putting enough clips of these podcasts out. And that's a lot of work, dude, to do all that. But listen, I figured out a way, and now I'm going to be doing it. So you just got to start. You have to have a base and just go from there, Renee. And I think you coming on this show is a huge first step. I really do. You've kind of like you never really told me no, but you never really told me yes either. Until recent, where you're like, and was it because I said about like, hey, we got to get your logo stuff out there, and you're like, okay, because at first you didn't, like, I almost thought you were gonna say no, and I was like, dude, this is a good way to talk about your logo design and shit like that, and you're like, okay, I'll do it, and I was like, dude, was that it? Was that the closer?
Yeah.
I got it. Oh man, and worth it, dude. I'm stoked. You know, as far as how much design work you put into like your iPad, like do you just randomly just say I'm gonna just draw something because like you're fucking you're thinking of something at all? Or I'm just curious on like how that works, where like let's say you don't have anybody wanting a logo, are you still fucking around and like creating like a portfolio, I guess that you could say?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like right now I have a couple like commissions I'm working on, so and for the most part, I've been like at least always having like a commission to work on. So it's also frustrating when I have commissions that it's like I want to draw this too, but like I have to get these done for people. So this goes like the back burner because like my drawing time is basically like my 2 10-minute breaks at work and my lunch break at work, and then like maybe an hour or two at night. But so yeah, it's like constantly juggling drawing for people and then drawing for just like myself kind of.
Well, I for sure got one customer already for you in the live chats, the homie Jade's Cold-Blooded Gems. Definitely been a supporter for a while, so I do know he's actually a real person who actually works with reptiles, so he'll be hitting you up. That's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Listen, I feel this is what I'm a big believer in this, Renee. Like, you set goals in this reptile industry, but if you're really meant to work in this reptile industry, or if you're really meant to work with reptiles for a lifetime, if something in the air is just in your favor, things will happen. Like, I think things will start to land in your lap. Huge believer in that. Like, that's how, I mean, I'm a proof in that right now. Like, I never predicted this podcast to pop off 5 years ago. You kidding me? But like, this is how you have to have that mentality going into your logo, your art. And it's just kind of, you got to believe that something's going to hit. Like something like you're either going to have that one shit. You might have that one big ass breeder who comes to you and says, hey man, I would love to work with you. And I'm talking about the kind of pay that's like you're working for this person for like 3 months trying to figure it out, you know, and you're getting paid. Like that's all it takes. You know what I mean? And I love Alex, but Alex is always bitching about being broke, and that pisses me off. And I don't want my boy to be broke. God bless him. He's a dog watcher and rescues rattlesnakes. All he does is stuff by animals. And when you do that, you don't get paid at all unless you're an animal, unless you're a YouTuber, influencer. And that's not Alex. He's not. Oh man, I can't wait to get him on the show, man. Because that's going to be something else. I love him to death. Overall, if there was one species that you could really add to your collection, what would you think that one species would be? Like you personally, like what? Maybe it's on a bucket list of yours, but what's one species you would just love to add to the mix? Like
realistic or like in your dreams?
Let's do real. I'll ask the in your dreams on your hot seat question. So let's ask for like a realistic, possible, like maybe it's not there, but you could maybe see it like being a possibility type of species.
So it's not really a species, but I already have rainbow boas, but I really want a pied rainbow boa.
Those are sick. His name's Ralph, or I forget. He's on Facebook. Somebody on Facebook posts a lot of these pied rainbow boas.
Somebody in Europe, I forget his name.
Rolf, I think. Oh man, I'm friends with them.
Mike Mickelrofer.
Oh yeah, maybe I could be off. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't want to talk too much about snakes because this is a lizard segment, but you guys produced rainbow boas about a year ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, or when did you guys have not too long?
July, I think it was.
Wow. Okay. And those came out really nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
How many did you guys get?
Nah. I forget if it was 9 or 11, but.
And what was it like establishing those? If you do remember or recall what
They are not that bad.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Type.
I think there were a couple that took a while to finally eat frozen thawed pinky, but.
Did you guys keep a lot of them, or did you guys part ways with most of the litter?
Oh no, we kept most of them, or get like people that we know have them.
And I'm curious what the rainbow boas is. There a certain line of rainbow boas? Like, did your rainbow boas come from a certain breeder? Like, you know, there's certain lines of other stuff. So I'm just curious how it works with rainbow boas.
A good chunk of ours have come from Dave at Rainbows R Us.
That's his name, Rainbows R Us.
Rainbows R Us, yeah.
So just want to make sure. So that's what he specifies in. That's like his bread and butter, rainbow boas.
Yeah.
That's cool. So does he work with a bunch of different species? Like, does he have like hypo and shit like that and all that other stuff?
Like species or morphs?
Morphs, my bad, not species.
Yeah, he has a ton of different morphs.
Is he on Instagram?
I don't. He was at one point, but I don't know if he still is. He comes to the super shows though.
He does. Like he sets up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'm just looking. I'm just curious.
Like, and he has a website, and you can see all his all the different morphs on there. But
so basically, a morph, a rainbow boa morph would be like something you'd want to add to your mix, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And which one would that use? Or the pied one? You said pied.
The pied, yeah.
Right. And those, is there even like availability on those right now? Like, can you even buy those?
I think Alex just showed me. Well, the first guy who had them was in Europe, so I think Alex just showed me. Somebody in the U.S. just imported them. I don't remember who it was, but so hopefully soon.
Okay.
But there's a ton of morphs that for rainbow boas that are pretty cool. And
like more than 10?
Probably around 10 or 15 maybe.
I mean, because I've seen some fucking sick ass ones. I mean, also I do want to mention the Dominican red boa, the red Dominican boa or whatever. Fuck, yeah. Those are one of my favorites. Alex just posted a reel of one not too long ago, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's one thing I love that you guys keep. You guys keep a lot of shit that I love that you guys keep, but that's one thing that I'm like, that's dreamy. And then the Jamaican boa.
Oh, the Jamaicans are awesome. Yeah.
But you want to know the biggest thing I'm salty about that I don't have that you guys have? and I don't know when that'll ever be when I could get one. What do you think it is? I want it more than anything. Alex probably knows.
It's a snake.
No.
Um,
I gotta tell you, it looks like a dungeon where you guys keep these things.
Dungeon.
It looks weird. There's like a brick wall or something like that.
Are birds? Or
yeah. The toucan. The toucan.
oh, the toucan. Yeah.
Obsessed. Upset. There was an opportunity. Alex will tell you this too. There was an opportunity where I could have bought one off a trade or something. And it just didn't happen. And I was like told Alex, oh man, and it was so bummed. And then we went to the Artery Behavioral. Am I saying the right? Artery Behavioral Center, the International Center. Andre and Hillary. Remember we went over there, and then I saw another one, and my love for birds just like skyrocketed after that.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
And then you guys came up on a fucking toucan right after that, and I was like, so like just FOMO.
They're fun.
They're fun, but I also know like you need to have like a whole. It's like bringing a child in. Like it's got to have its center. Like it needs its place. All sorts of stuff, and I don't have that together at all.
It needs its own room for sure. Yeah,
and I much rather do that when I'm more balling and I have bigger space, and I'd rather have it have its own like shed or own room. Like here, you live here, buddy. Like do your thing because they need that kind of stuff. I feel like.
Yeah.
So man, that's awesome. Okay, I have a wrap up question for you before we get into some hot seat questions.
Okay.
What would you say to anyone out there who, let me think. I take that back. I'm going to take that back. I have a different wrap-up question for you, okay?
Okay.
What would you think the biggest problem-solving thing that the reptile industry needs? Like what would you say what would you see the one thing that we're not doing together as a hobby that we could do better, if you could think?
Oh my gosh, this is like a question that you need to tell me like 3 days.
Ah, bro, there's no preparation. There's no preparation for this stuff. This is like, you know what I mean? And I think you just don't really think of this kind of stuff often, do you?
No, I don't. Maybe like supporting each other. Like I feel like friends support friends, but like if you don't do something the same way as somebody else, then like you're the worst reptile keeper, So right. I think like just acknowledging that there's like multiple right ways to take care of animals that, and then you don't have to agree with that or keep them the same way or whatever, but like acknowledging and not like tearing people down for doing something differently, unless it's like an extreme case, like Slither, but like,
I mean, because that's an easy one. That's an easy wagon to jump on because how severe the situation is, right?
Yeah.
But if we were to kind of like put that situation on the fucking back burner for now, like there's so many situations where people fucking butt in. It's not their business, right? But because of who's affected, which could be a social media buddy or whatever, like there could be people who don't like you and they don't even know who the fuck you are, but just because of what they heard, just because of the situation that's at hand, and you don't even know both stories, I'm just going to fucking hate you and fuck you. Like, no, you're a piece of shit. Like, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's also like people, that's a lot of people who aren't even here really about this reptile shit. Like if you really have reptiles and your head is really in the game with your reptiles, you don't have time to be a fucking that person. You know what I mean? Like you're too busy. Like, but like, Will Morrows, shout out to Will Morrows. He said it the best, man. The loudest noise always comes from the cheap seats. That fucking belligerent, like asshole saying some really fucked up shit comes up from way up there. Nosebleeds. And what do you think? Like a lot. I mean, I remember a lot of the fights and shit like that. Like a lot of like barbaric shit at games happens in the nosebleeds. It is. Say what you want. I mean, nowadays it's a little different because degenerates could just, people who are just reckless could just get seats really close nowadays. But I'm just saying, theoretically, that's just how it is. You know, you got people who are chirping in, you got people who even instigate, you know, because it's one thing like shit rolls, like you know how rumors spread, right? Obviously.
Instagram.
You know, but Facebook, I would say Facebook groups is the worst.
Yeah, that's true.
You got people who like to chime and talk shit about others who aren't a part of the Facebook group. So what happens is you have people just going in about you and you have no idea. And you're just like going about your day. But then now you have like a whole thread of people just like, what? Really? This is what happened? Well, fuck that guy. And you have all these you have like other 40 people saying, well, fuck that guy. I don't know who he is, but fuck him. It's like, holy shit. But that's why
the drama.
I mean, exactly. It's easy to just step away, I feel like. But I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, there's like I have a podcast, Renee. So unfortunately, I can't really step away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry that there's just certain things that I have to talk about. I'm kind of glad though, too, because there's just certain things that need to be talked about. But I think tonight went really well. I thought tonight's podcast, we talked about some epic stuff, mainly your logos, how much I feel like you're about to kill it for the rest of 2023. I already see a handful of people trying to fuck with your logo, who want to inquire about you doing a logo for them. Swear to God, they're in the live chat. So guys, make sure you head over. I mean, should it be Must See Snakes account, or what account should they inquire at?
Either is fine, but Renee's Artery.
Renee, let's make this easy for them. So which one?
Okay, Renee's Artery.
All right, Renee's Artery. Okay. Guys, head over to Instagram. Hit her up. This has been a great episode, but we have hot seat questions. Okay. So hot seat questions, and then you could go about your night, and we could end this. Okay. So here we go. Guys, do me a favor. Get the likes up. If you have not gotten the likes up yet for Renee, she just got done killing it. Well, not yet, because she has these hot seat questions, but she just did a hell of a job so far. So get the likes up for Renee. Hot seat. Oh my God, there he is. Wow. Bring it in. Your hair's purple again. Where's he going?
Why do you keep running away like a weirdo?
All right, guys. Alex, feature. How do you feel, man? You look great on here. You look, I mean, I don't understand what the issue is. What is it that has been kept you from coming on my show? I'm confused.
He's a scaredy baby.
I know. Look at him. He's literally looking at his dude. I like that. I like that shade of purple, by the way. It's darker. It's like more of a purple blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just redid it.
He did it last night.
Yeah.
I hope you don't destroy your hair with all that bleach, by the way. I'm just saying.
It goes out and then he redoes it.
It's fine. I'm done anyways.
Yeah. All right, listen. We'll book our podcast at some point, but hot seat questions for Renee. She's about to kill this shit. Say bye to Alex. He's an awesome guy. All right, hot seat questions for Renee coming at you right now. You ready, Renee?
Yeah.
Here we go. Frozen Thought or Live?
Frozen Thought.
8 cut or no cut if it was a ball python?
Wait, what? Oh, 8 cut.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Green tree python or emerald tree boa?
Emerald tree boa.
Python or boa?
Boa.
Respect. Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal on a snake?
Post first shed meal.
Nice. Yay imports or boo imports?
I mean, they have their time and place.
I'm gonna ask you again, and this is just simply yay or boo. Okay, so is it yay or boo on imports?
Yay.
Thank you. One reptile you would love to import into your collection anywhere around the world. Doesn't matter. Like let this be the dreamiest one. What would it be?
Smog giganticus. Gigantic. Yeah.
Nice. What about one reptile nobody should ever import? Leave it where it's at. God bless it.
Well, I don't know.
Really? You're gonna fuck with sea turtles? You're gonna fuck with the marine iguanas? You're really gonna do that to them?
Okay.
You have an ocean?
Leave the ocean animals in the ocean.
Thank you. Yay sports or boo sports?
Boo sports.
Okay. Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
Thank you. That's hardcore. Shout out to Scott, your mom, probably your parents on that one. That's great. Love it. West Coast rap or East Coast rap? You had to pick.
West Coast.
Okay. Favorite Jurassic Park of all time? Out of all of them.
The OG, of course.
Respect. Okay, little word association. First thing to come to mind: milk.
Cows.
Mites.
That's like,
That's good. Cocoa.
Cocoa?
That's what I said.
Like chocolate?
Sure. Is that what you think of?
Yeah.
I mean, are you questioning yourself, or I'm confused?
I'm just making sure it's the right cocoa.
Stuck shed.
Mist.
FedEx shipping.
That's all I got.
Reptile shows.
Fun.
Instagram trolls.
Fuck off.
Okay, last but not least. You, if you know this one, you just did a perfect job. You ready?
Okay.
Coolest reptile podcast in the world.
Trap Talk.
Let's go. Renee, hell of a job. Pretty sure you're going to do a lot better than Alex is going to do, but we just had shy of 50 people tapped in on this Sunday. Okay, mad love and support. You had a lot of people in here rooting you on. What do you have to say to all your fans out there and everyone who just wants to see you win?
Come see me on Instagram.
Yay. Go over there, guys. Go put in your inquiries right now, because who knows how busy she's going to be, but it's a wrap. Thank you, Renee. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have fun with that guy, because he's something else. But guys, give it up for Renee. Episode 349, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
You too.
Peace. Whew. What a time, guys. Appreciate everyone who tapped in. Thank you for all the love in the super chats, all the love in the live chats. If you guys want to be a part of this after party, come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. You want to kind of debrief a little bit, because guys, we got things to talk about. I want to talk about more of this Samson stuff. I need my trapper's opinion on things, because I got plans for this week, and I run all my plans for the most part through my trappers. So if you want to join this Zoom after party, Trap Talk Patreon after party, go down to the very first link you see in the description below. Click it, join it, come hang out with us. It's happening in about 15-ish minutes. Patreon members, I'll see you guys in a bit. But other than that, if this is your first time tapping in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast. And don't forget to drop a comment, because I am going to pick a lucky winner who is looking to go to the Reptile Super Show in Anaheim. A pair of tickets, VIP tickets, to come hang out, kick it with all the homies. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a great time, okay? And I just want to say again, viewers out there, thank you so much for giving my podcast a time of day. If you listen to me on all the other major podcasting platforms such as Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple, all the major ones, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Let me know how you're liking it on those platforms. And again, man, thank you for all the love and support. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys make me relevant. And we're going to keep these popping. I got to tell you, Monday is going to be a good day. Monday is tomorrow, obviously. New Breed on the Block series. I do want to say I've been looking forward to bringing this gentleman on the show since I met him at Tinley, because he, I don't know. I feel like personally this dude is not playing with his ball python project. Everything he posts is relevant. Everything I feel like he's about to be breeding, if everything goes as well, is going to be super relevant. So come see it for yourself. My boy Justin over at Armless Angels Ball Pythons, which is going to be a great warm-up for our Thursday night episode. But before we get to Thursday night, guys, we are going to finally talk to somebody who is vested, committed, passionate about the mainland reticulated python community and game. And this is going to be a great episode, because there's so much sensitivity right now in the retic world. It's crazy. It's almost crumbling. From what I just witnessed, nobody really wants to step up and talk about it. But I found somebody, my homie Wes, over at Wildfire Retics, coming to the podcast. And we're going to talk so much this Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Trap Talk roster is packed this week, guys. I am not playing, so just be ready. There's that reminder, Zoom Trap Talk after party. But Episode 351 is going down, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about some of this retic stuff that's happening, because I know there's people really passionate about these reticulated pythons. I know there's people out there that don't want to just see this shit go down in shambles. So thank you, Wes, for coming to the plate. Thank you so much for tapping in this Tuesday night. It's going to be a great time. And then, last but not least, Thursday night is going to be a banger. Okay? Banger. Why would you say that? Well, because it's about the elite side of ball python, keeping, breeding, and selling. Organization. It's going to be super heavy. Thursday night, for the first time ever, we have Justin Kabelka and Summer. Same podcast. Elite ball python talk. Of course, my right-hand man, Dave Levison, as you see right there in the thumbnail, he'll be joining us. We're going to be getting down to business about clutch, how organizing could lead to possible more sales. Who knows? What can we do out there? Obviously, a lot of you guys need help. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. But I want to, man. I want everyone to eat out there. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to know that it's really up to you on whatever it is that you need to get done in life. So either way, this week is going to be something else, and I cannot wait. Trappers, I'll see you guys in a bit. Trap Talk Zoom after party going down. But that's it. Episode 349 in the books. Thank you, Renee. Have a good night, everyone. Cheers.